Hello, Flosstube. This is my name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is my Flosstube number 247. It's been a couple weeks, 2 weeks since I last did an update, and many of you know, most of you know, that my father passed away on the 25th. So 2 weeks ago was I think the 20th, yeah. And we were expecting him home that day, that Saturday. And just, there were some complications, and he didn't come home until Monday, I think. But then he just came home in like hospice care, and then he passed away on the 25th. But my brother had time to come out here, and my niece had time to just fly out and back real quickly that Thursday that he passed away. But he had some enough time, you know, sort of to be with all of us. Once my brother was here in town with Hannah on the phone, he was able to, you know, speak to each of us, give us all his blessing, if you will, and you know, say his goodbyes to us, to his immediate family. And it was just a very sweet time, a very difficult time, of course, but a very good time for him, and you know, for him to be able to sort of let go, you know, and all of that. And like I said, you know, by the time that Thursday, you know, my brother had to leave, but was able to sort of, you know, my sister called him, and he was able to speak to my dad, and my dad couldn't respond to that. He was basically unconscious, but you could tell he reacted when he heard my brother's voice. And then again, when my niece came in, and she came, like, it was very nerve-wracking because she flew in late in the afternoon, and then of course there was rush hour traffic, and it was, we were afraid he was gonna pass away before she got back, and you know, and all that kind of thing. So it was, but it was good. And like my sister said, she you know, she was able to play her violin for him, and she sort of played him into heaven. So it was very sweet as you know, that kind of a moment can be. So anyway, I wanted to thank you all for all the kind words, kind comments, prayers of support, and everything that you all have provided for us. And it's been you know, a tough time, but now, you know, we're sort of getting back to normal, if you will, getting back to, you know, we had a lot of things to do, you know, to take care of his affairs and all that, but also we've been able to sort of, you know, get out and do some things and all that. As a matter of fact, today my sisters and I went to they had, you know, that National Cinema Day or whatever, you know, $3 movies and all that stuff. So we're able to do that just to, you know, we've done a few things just to get out of the house and you know, do some retail therapy, if you will, and all that. So so like I said, you know, we want to, you know, little by little we're getting back to normal and getting back to just the routine of things. So, you know, like last Saturday, you know, my father had just passed away, and so I was like, well, do I want to do a Flosstube? I don't really want to do one, you know. And so, but you know, it felt like a good time to get back into the swing of things, if you will. So anyway, wanted to thank you all. The other thing was the end of August, you know, came the 27th, the WIPGO numbers came out, and I thought I'd written them down, but I think I know what they are, the new numbers, which ones are which. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and start talking about cross stitch now. So I did work on WIPGO, and I think I was still working on the first WIPGO call last month in August. The two calls, number 20 and 25. No. Yeah, 20 and 25, I think. were the two numbers that were called in August. And they were both on my WIPGO chart were new starts, 10 days on each one. And so the first one was Parade of Elephants by Jeannine McGowan of the Blue Flower in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And you can see here on this fabric that was called for, I think it's called Evergreen. It looks kind of gray to me, but so there's not a whole lot of sharp contrast with the elephants on there. It may just be this picture. I think I talked about this last time. But so I wanted a fabric that had significant contrast in it. Hold on one second. There's like a, you reach under the screen until your wipe your face off there. There's like a something distracting me there. Anyway, so this is I used a fabric that I dyed myself, and the elephants show up pretty good here. And this is a variegated DMC, and mine is I stitched in pairs, basically both lines at the same time. I did one stitch at a time, but I stitched, you know, like here and here and here and here, you know, up and down, so that they were sorry, so they're variegated. You know, it's the variegation is is more or less together in pairs as I did the thing. But what I did was I started in the corner with this border, and I did as much as I could, and I counted it like 3 times, but it's like 90 something, you know, stitches. And so I was like, I don't know if that's, you know, I didn't want to do the next corner until I was sure. So I did some of the pennant, the 3 pennants that the elephants are carrying in their trunks, like this elephant. So that, you know, I was able to do those easily, and I found the end of this side, and I was able to do down this side of the frame. And once I basically did the elephants, I knew where their feet were, and I was able to go across. So I did this corner, so there's just this little side left. And then, of course, I just did the one color of the 2 big elephants. This one is, you know, I got to the end of the thread or whatever. So, but that was 10 days on a Parade of Elephants. Yeah. So, and I think there was the Wisdom of a Wisdom of Wombats was in the spring issue, and so I think I don't remember if it's 3 or 4. Collections. This is Parade of Elephants is the second in the series, so I don't know offhand how many are in this little series of animals that she's doing, but I'm assuming there's going to be more in the next in the winter Christmas issue. So anyway, that was 10 days on that. So my other WIPGO new start was The Elephant Biscornu by Tinymodernist. That's very cute little elephants, and their flowers and their colored inklet things, and then the back is this very simple, just this little corner design here. There's nothing in the center of the back. And I did this because I have some elephant buttons that I bought at the attic. They're little ceramic elephant buttons that I'm going to use there. But so I started in the corner again, and I did. That's why this one elephant is upside down, because he's upside down in the corner. But so I did both of the elephants, and I did all of their little flower crowns and their little anklets and everything else. I did all of the details except for there's some back stitching, you know, around them to give them some shape and to set them off and all that. So I haven't done the back stitching, of course. And it's the same as the the same color as the backstitching sort of frame around the square. But and so I did these two little flower things, and you can see the dark green, the darkest green in these little corners, pretty well on the camera. And it's a little bit harder to see in person actually. There are a little because of the color of the fabric. This fabric is steel blue, 25 count Lugana, and I did it 2/2 on this. And I think with 25 count, some people stitch 1/1, but I did 2/2 on this count. And as a matter of fact, I frequently have cross stitch anxiety dreams because I usually fall asleep while I'm stitching or whatever. But I always dream something like I made some major error, and and that requires lots of unstitching or whatever, and then I wake up and it's like I haven't done that. but so I dreamed that someone was showing like what the same pattern looks like on different sizes of fabric, and when they got to the 25 count, it was huge, and I thought, oh no, my design isn't going to fit on there, because I think I had just done like one elephant or something, and in this dream it was just huge, the 25 count version of whatever they were doing. But I think I went ahead and bought another one of these because I thought, oh, I don't know if it's gonna fit. But once I did this second elephant, I think it'll fit pretty well, because the little frame around the elephants is like right here, like maybe 1 or 2 stitches below where his feet are, and so it'll go, of course, more this way, but I think it'll fit fine over here, the back square. I just had such anxiety over that after that dream that I went ahead and bought more. But it's a great color, and it's a great size and all that. So if I end up not using it for the back of the elephant, I can use it for something else. So that's my WIPGO for August. So the new WIPGO numbers came out, number 3, I think, and number 22. And it just so happens that they're both two of the 4 tall ships that I have in my whips. Earlier this year, I had the Christopher Columbus Voyage of Discovery ships, the Nina and Pinta San Maria, that big, it was a Stony Creek pattern. So that was earlier in the year, one of my WIPGO numbers, and then another one was the Old Clipper ship, which is both of them these are all older patterns, like from the late 80s, early 90s. But so I did those 2. I did, I think, 10 days on each of those. And so now I have, I think this is number 3, is this ship Serenity, down here it's called, by Ronnie Rowe Designs, and this is part of his pen and ink series collection, pen and ink cross stitch collection, sailing ships. And so they're monochromatic, and I think the models are done like black on white fabric, but I chose to do blue on blue. Actually, I think it's number like 823 or something like that, or 823, 93, something like that. It's a dark blue on this blue fabric. All the 4 ships that I have are all on this same. I dyed the fabric all at the same time. It's this. I think. Sorry, let me turn this off. But I had the vision of doing all 4 of them on this same kind of, oceany, sky-ish fabric for ships on the ocean. So yeah, that's why they're all in this same colored cloth. It's evening blue. And, it might just be evening blue, just all, you know, wadded up to get the modeling on there. And I did a center start, so it looks like, oh, that's mostly done, but no, it's like right in the middle. It's like, you know, like right here somewhere, you know. So there's lots and lots and lots of sails and lots of ship to go on there, but it's all monochromatic, so it, you know, it'll go pretty quickly. I just have to really concentrate to make sure I'm in the right place. And I have a working copy of the pattern, and so I'm marking it up. I'm kind of old school, marking it up with a colored pencil. But anyway, so yeah, so that's and there's a big old cat here on there. Sorry. That's Ship Serenity, the starting point I have, and these nautical themed needle minders, they were like refrigerator magnets or something from that I got at Cracker Barrel some time ago. They had like lighthouses and crabs and things like that in the display sale, you know, things that they had in their little store. So then the other number 22, I think it is, for WIPGO, is this Tall Ships and Seascapes. This one here, Running with the Wind. And this is by, I think the guy's name is John Ohler. Is I found somewhere. For Puckerbrush Incorporated, and the copyright on this is 1989, so I'm sure it's out of print. I want to say the guy's name is John Ohler. I read it here. Yeah, John Ohler, Ohler, for Puckerbrush Incorporated. But he did, like, there's several designs in this little book. And this one is Old Ironsides, and then these little, you know, seaside pictures. But I'm doing this one here, Running with the Wind. Big ship, lots of sails. So this is where I got where my starting point on this one for September. So this is one of the, like, part of the mast or whatever. So lots and lots and lots and lots of white for the sails, and just, you know, doesn't look like much because, you know, it's not, I didn't get very far with it, but yeah. So 10 days on that. So that's coming up, and but until I reach that, I'm working on, at the beginning of the month, on the 1st, I started on the September Rabbit, and I'm going to do a bit of a reprise. I don't have the January one because it's in the garage when I'm finishing stuff, because I ambitiously thought I was going to FFO it, but I never have yet. So it's out there, but and so is, I think, so is the little pattern picture card must be out there with it, because I don't have it here. But I'm going to go ahead and do a reprise. That was a word I learned early on when I used to play with the symphony. Back even like in high school, college days, I played with the Albuquerque Civic Light Opera. Did a bunch of shows with them, and they did like musicals, you know, Broadway type musicals. And like, I went to see a friend of mine played with them. He did Camelot was just the show I went to see, and I think the first one I did was Oliver, and you know, we did Man of La Mancha, Oklahoma, things like that, right? So anyway, in those shows, they always have what they call a reprise, and that is like, you know, one of the hit songs, they do like, you know, a shortened version of it or a dance version of it or whatever. But so in the music it'll say reprise. So you're repeating the song. Anyway, so we're doing a Rabbit Rabbit reprise today. So like I said, I don't have the January one, but I did complete it because I did it last year for, it was the first one I did for cross stitch camp. And it was my first time stitching on this 32 count Murano Carré. And there's still something on this screen, sorry. It's bugging me. The first time I had stitched on this 32 count Murano Carré. But more importantly, the first time I stitched with silk. You know, I've done lots of patterns that called for silk, but they always had DMC conversions, and I always did the DMC. But I plunged in to do the Rabbit Rabbit in silk, and I went ahead and bought all the silks for all the Rabbit Rabbits, thinking ambitiously that I would do, oh, it's easy, I'll do one a month. And yeah, so I finished the January one, and then I started with each month at the beginning of the month. I did February, I did this one here. This is the February Rabbit Rabbit, and I finished it. And I'm thinking I might use, you know, because there's still a lot of fabric on there. So I might do the December one on this same white fabric. It's it's called Pink Splash. Here. And as you can barely see these little tiny, very faint little pink dots on there. There, you can see better there. So it was good. It was nicely appropriate for the February one, which I finished. And then I think also with the colors for the December one, which are very Christmassy, very, you know, lots of greens and reds and all that, it'll look good on this fabric also. So anyway, here's February, which I finished. And then March, which I also finished, oddly enough. Here's March. So I finished that. And I may use this fabric, you know, again for another one, but I don't know for sure. But there's March. And then I got bogged down and I don't think I've finished one since then, right? So January, March, April. This one, I don't know what I was doing in April that I didn't get very far on this. And I figured out that I guess part of the reason is like depending, I don't know. Well, now, you know, I said, you know, maybe it depends on how many colors, but this February one is, you know, pretty complicated, and I don't know. The March one is sort of blocks of color, and that's easier for me to do pretty quickly. But so here's April, and all I did from April was one lonely little bunny. I don't even know how it goes, like this. I don't know. Whereas I don't know where which way I had the fabric situated, but yeah. So I just have one little lonely bunny, and I don't know if I even, yeah, maybe, I don't think I finished this ear. I still have this ear to go. Yeah. So that's April. Didn't get very far on that. May, I don't think I got very far on this one either. This is the May Rabbit Rabbit. You can see it's sort of white on this lighter color fabric. It's hard to see the rabbits on there. But I chose to do it on, and these are all on this Murano Carré from Hobby Lobby, these colors. So I did it on this, which is a very bold, very different choice. But the colors really pop on there still. So, and I think the white rabbits will show up very nicely on it when I get around to them. So this is just as far as I got, and this is just like the flowers, part of, you know, part of this greenery, and part of this flowers here, but no bunnies so far. But I think it'll, if I ever get around to doing them, it'll look really good on this fabric. So this is May. And then June, let me see if I get here real quick. I think I got them out of order here. That's August, September, June. Okay, so here is June. And these rabbits have like little flowers, I guess, on them. And these little hearts in between them. And so here is June. So I got some rabbits, and like this is where the little flowers will go on their bodies, and I got a couple of little hearts in there. But I didn't get very far on June. I think it goes like this. Yeah, you can see the hoop marks on there. So this is June. But I like this fabric. This is ice, is the color. It's an off-white, whitish color. But that's June. And then July, all I got really was this. Ooh, this sort of green little frame. I just got this started here. This is from May, and I really had just this part, not this bunny, but this much done. I started in this corner over here. That's my little corner marker thread here. But so I started in this corner, and I did this part of the frame. And just the other night, the end of, I guess it must have been the 31st or something, or maybe late, later than the 31st, I started on this one rabbit here. It's part of, I guess I started in the corner, so it must be, I don't know, one of these rabbits. Yeah. So this is July. And then August, yeah, August is this one, and again, it's hard to see on these models, because they all use this same fabric. I think it's shale is what it's called. Shale linen by Picture This Plus. It's the 36 count. So these white rabbits are hard to see on that shale fabric. But I chose to do it on the Murano Carré Spa, is this blue color. And the Spa is what I used for the January one, which is all, a lot of white rabbits. So I started again in the corner here this way. And I did this little carrot. And then I started on the rabbits, and they're white. And so they show up a lot better on this Spa color, the blue there. So that's as far as I got for the August rabbits. And then, so I just did the first and second. Today's the third. So I just did a little bit, but I actually got pretty far on this rabbit. This is September. These really pretty little dark bunnies. And if you look here, there's like some, this is a evergreen, I think it's, Granny Smith green is this, this green color here and down here. And these rabbits are holding the, stalk of this flower. So apart from the sort of yellowish, it's golden squash, I did this little center design because it's the only place that you use this color. But, and then I did like a lot of this green color, and I'm working on the flowers now, but I haven't done the yellow part yet. But, so this is September, and this is how far I've gotten. So I done one bunny, and I'm working on this other bunny. Sorry, like I said, there's a big cat there. I have two cats. They're all over everything, so there's cat hair everywhere. But So this is the center of the design. So I've got one bunny, and he's got his little stalk and his flower, and this other one, there's another bunny will go right here, holding this, where this gap is, where his paw goes, like that. So I'm doing this other bunny right here. And, yeah. So, with my ambitious August, as I called it, plans, I used the sort of 10 days that I have at the beginning of the month to do a whole bunch of different, I did a whole bunch of new starts or whatever. And so, and I had marked off, like, you know, this is the 10 days I'll do this WIPGO and 10 days on this part WIPGO. And so I've done the same thing with September. So September has 30 days. And so I marked on my calendar, I got to start the, you know, WIPGOs by this date or this date. And that leaves me 10 days to play with. So I should be able to finish these, you know, or at least get them almost finished by working on them, you know, a couple of days, maybe on several of them to get them further along. So, you know, we'll see. And then I have 3 months till the end of the year. So maybe hopefully by the end of the 3 months I will have gotten further and almost finished them. And then the other thing I did was for my dad, I created a little pattern, and I have a couple more ideas in mind of patterns to memorialize my dad. There's a really pretty, a really nice verse, the John 14, the beginning of John 14, I think, let not your heart be troubled. And I have to, you know, I want to look at that verse and see that passage and see what of the verse I want to use or whatever, but I think that's one thing I want to do. But in the meantime, I used this, these are words from the hymn Wayfaring Stranger, which is an old hymn. It was in an older hymn book that we had, but it was something that I guess is significant to our family at some point. You know, we sang it often when we were younger with my dad's family. So when we've always as a family, we always had this song sort of in the back of our minds or whatever. So I took a couple of lines from that. I am a poor wayfaring stranger while traveling through this world below is how it is, the beginning of the first verse. And then this is part of the chorus. I am just going over Jordan. I am just going over home. And there's my dad's name and dates down here. And so this little, it's a very simple pattern. But so this picture here, there's one lone sheep, that's my dad, on the grass on this side. And then here's the river that represents the Jordan, if you will. And these little fish, you know, my dad liked to go fishing. He loved to go fishing. And so I thought, well, I'll put some fish in the river here. And so these are all of us kids and the grandkids. So there's my brother, my older sister and her son, me, my younger sister and her husband and her 2 kids. So there we are, fish in the river. And then on this side of the river is my mom and my grandparents. My dad had a younger brother who died when he was like 8. So that's what this little sheep is. And then these others are his siblings that passed away. And he has one sibling left. So anyway, so that's what these sheep are. And they don't have eyes, you know, they're you know, there's not a lot of detail in there because they were kind of small and I didn't want to put, you know, like French knots on all of these little sheep. And so, yeah, so they're all just black-faced sheep, you know. But, so it's very simple. Yeah, so that's a pattern I did for my dad. And I think that's all the stitching that I have. I do have a little bit of haul. Some of it, you know, that just in the last couple of days, few days, that I picked up. And this is all haul from Joann's and Hobby Lobby and The Attic and Tempe Yarn and Fiber. I've been in various days, so I'm going to just start with this. I went to Tempe Yarn and Fiber Thursday, maybe? This past Thursday, I think, with my younger sister. She's doing some knitting, spinning thing, I guess, that they're doing. And actually, she talks about it in our Sticks and Strings video. We did a Sticks and Strings video last night. We taped it, so it'll be out this Sunday. But she had signed up for some thing they're doing there at Tempe Yarn and Fiber. So I went with her to go pay for that or officially sign up for it or whatever. So while I was there, I bought this little mesh bag they had there for a notions pouch. So instead of just like throwing my bobbins and fabric in, because in some of my bags, of my project bags, I have little notions pouches that have all the threads in there very neatly and a pair of scissors and whatever. And other ones I have, you know, just my things just thrown in there. So it would be nice to be a little more organized. And I bought these because I have a scissor fetish and I can never have enough scissors. I think I have a pair of scissors, I can't even speak, in pretty much all of my notions pouches, in all of my project bags for the most part. But every once in a while I'll pick up a project bag and I'll start and I'll realize, oh, there's no scissors in here. And I think all of my scissors have been allocated at some point to project bags. I don't know. So anyway, while I was there, I bought some more. And these are curved. The blades are curved. If you can see that a little bit. So that helps when you're snipping very closely to have a curved blade like that. Yeah. So I bought this at Tempe Yarn and Fiber, and gloves in a bottle. This is very nice stitching lotion to smooth your scratchy hands. As a matter of fact, I need that because these rabbits use silk threads, and here I use my dry skin plucking on threads everywhere. And then I also picked up these beads, and my sister and I have lots and lots and lots of beads, but I really like these. I think they're glass, I want to say. I don't know. But I like the colors. And, some time ago, quite a while ago, I very ambitiously, I had like all these nautical things, and I thought, oh yes, I'm going to make nautical needle minders. I have little whale, mermaid tails, whatever, and fish and things like that. And yeah, so I haven't done that. But these beads got me thinking about that more, because they're very, like almost like sea glass, greens and blues and light blues, dark blues, greens. Anyway, so yeah. And then also to go on that little thing I did for my dad, this little sheep to go on there. This is at Tempe Yarn and Fiber, Woolhala Tunis. It says, charmed, I'm sure, from your friends at Woolhala Tunis. Anyway, Queen Creek, Arizona. It says, fleece with a face. There's a little picture there. Yeah. So I got this little sheep charm. And then at the attic, I just picked up another project bag. I didn't really have to, but I like this blue you know, a lot of the ones I have several of these in there because I bought them on Amazon, and they have colored zippers, but they have clear mesh, you know, and these that they have at the attic, you know, they have this colored mesh, and I kind of like that. And you know, I didn't need it because, you know, whatever, but I just liked it. And oh yeah, I'll talk more about what I got, other stuff I got in the attic. At Hobby Lobby is another pair of scissors. Don't judge me. And this I got at the attic. This is more stitcher lotion. This is raspberry and orange scent. They have, for a long time, you know, they had this at the attic, and then they didn't have it. And I was kind of disappointed, thinking, I really like that lotion. I really like this stuff. This gloves in a bottle is very good too. Again, you know, it's not greasy. Neither of the lotions are. But they had these last time I was at the attic. So I really like it. So, and also at Hobby Lobby I got this hoop. Now on Pam and Steph, there's somebody that they know is really into hoops, and so they, you know, they use Q snaps, but they were trying out some hoops, and they're basically just like basic wooden hoops. It seemed to me, from what they were talking about, and so Pam, I guess, had given them a try and wasn't crazy about them because she couldn't get the fabric to stay tight. You know, like she put the fabric in there, and as tight as she got it, you know, the fabric would just kind of would sag. You know, just because, you know, it would move and loosen and whatever, and she couldn't keep it tight. And that was has been my problem for a long, you know, back when I first started. Of course, I used wooden hoops because in those days that was all you could find, basically, at least, you know. And then for a while I think I bought some at Walmart, excuse me, Walmart, and maybe some at Hobby Lobby, and definitely they have them at Joann's. But it's like a hoop with you know, the outer rim, I guess, has a little bit of a lip on it, so theoretically it keeps it from slipping, and you know, it's pretty good. But and there's some more expensive brand that I think Joann's carries that has like a ridge, you know, but then these that Walmart carries, I mean, not Walmart, Hobby Lobby carries these. This Yarnology, this is, I don't know if it's their store brand or whatever, but anyway, there's, I want to see if I can pull this apart without taking the label off. I might take the label off, but all of my hoops are this way. There's a little ridge there, and there's on this outer rim there's a groove there, and so you put the hoops together, and that groove locks your fabric in place, and you tighten that puppy up, and the fabric does not slide around at all. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this kind of hoop, and so much so that I bought another one. Oh yeah, that's what this one is. Yeah, this is and you see how tight that is. It stays, you know. And if I actually, you can't, you know, pull it. You have to loosen it in order to pull it. So if I wanted to tighten it some more or whatever. You know, this one has this little pucker on it because it's right at the edge of the fabric, but it doesn't move. So that's my recommendation, is this type of hoop with the little ridge, and these are really inexpensive. I think I don't have the price. Yeah, $2.99. This is an 8-inch hoop, $2.99. They're very inexpensive. And they work wonderfully. And also at Hobby Lobby, I got this. This is more of that blue, the steel blue. I'm gonna call it blue steel because that's from the movie Zoolander. But it's steel blue. 25 count Lugana. It's 52% cotton, 48% modal. This is by Zweigart. And again, it's that blue color that I used for the elephant Biscornu. More of that. At Hobby Lobby. At Joann's, I know it's very... I got this kitty. This is the kit. It comes with all the stuff. The hoop, the fabric, the threads. I'll probably dye this fabric because that's the way I have. I use the 14 count Ada that comes with the kit, but I'll dye it probably. I don't know what color I'll dye it because this is a very colorful cat. And I think it's just called Cat. Yeah. But I like that. Like kitty. And it comes with this wooden hoop, like, you know, to display it in, or, you know. And I probably will not stitch with it. And I don't know how I'm going to finish it. If I'll finish it in a hoop or not, I probably won't. But yeah, I saw that. I wanted to get it, so I did. And then I also bought this. This is 28 count Carolina linen in this sort of neutral color. I don't know if it has a color name. It doesn't say. It doesn't have a color name on it. Yeah, but it's just a basic neutral color. I might even dye that. I don't know. And then finally at the attic, I picked up some patterns. Oh no, I have some more. Some more stuff, sorry. Before I get to those patterns. I also went to Target. And I was just there because, you know, my sister had to go to Target to run some errands there. And so I just was like in the little dollar spot, you know, that they have there. And so they're, you know, they've got all their fall stuff out now. So I got these little ceramic pumpkins, and they were like $1 each. All right, so there's a little black one and a little blue one. And I have some that I also got that I got at Target probably last year, but they're a little bit larger. They have those also. And then these were tiny, so I got these. There's a little white one. And this little tall guy. It's kind of a grayish green. And this little guy. It's a very traditional orange pumpkin. So all of these, they're like $1 each. They're little tiny ceramic pumpkins. But I also got this little tiered tray, but it's on like a Lazy Susan kind of base, little spinny base here, and I think this is $5. So I thought that's a really nice little display piece there. So for now, I have my little ceramic pumpkins on there. If I don't drop them and break them, I don't know. So I got that at Target in their dollar spot. Then I wanted to save these for last because they're nice from the attic. There's a Chessie and Me pattern called the Bunny Sampler. There's a little tiny picture. It's a little hard to see, but sorry about the glare. I'm trying to get it at the right angle there. So there's a little bunny on the hill, and there's a big fat berry there, it looks like. And then, you know, I think you can put your own letters in there. And there's, I guess it looks like letters and numbers. Letters, yeah. There. That's a very tiny picture, so it's hard to see. And it uses, looks like one color of DMC, and then it's a sampler thread, so I'm assuming they're General Arts colors. Excuse me. I'm about to sneeze. Try not to sneeze. But it uses Smyrna crosses on some of them. And then, yeah. And it was stitched on American chestnut linen from R&R Reproductions. Was that color there? And it really doesn't look like very much stitching other than the hill itself. And, you know, because there's, you know, a few things like the bunny and that the berry and the heart and the hill itself. But everything else looks relatively small. And I don't know if it says, yes, the stitch count is only 49 by 57. So it's not very big at all. And then this one, and this was actually on sale. It's an older design, I guess. I don't know if it says the date on there. Not anywhere handy. I'd have to open it up, and I don't feel like doing that. So, and I got this one, Autumn's Acorn Gathering by Brenda Gervais with that needle and thread. And look at those fat squirrels. They're so cute. There's a mama squirrel with an apron and a pumpkin basket. And there's a little crow there. Look at that fat squirrel. And she's wearing, I don't know if she's wearing an acorn pendant or what exactly. Out there. And then there's dead Papa Squirrel, whatever, with his stripy pants and overalls and a tie and a white shirt. And he's holding an acorn there. And there's his little shoes and his big fat tail. And there's a little moon up there. So I saw those squirrels and I thought it was really cute. And that uses DMC, Weeks, Gentle Arts, Classical Arts, just everything, a little bit of everything. So, and this is a 2022 pattern. Yeah, so it's fairly new. And then the latest in the Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods series, the Woodpecker. We were trying to decide between, is this a piece of bark or is this a fish? It looks like a fish. With this right here, it looks like an eye. But woodpeckers, as far as I know, don't eat fish. They eat bugs. But, you know. But he's very cute. He's got that red, flaming red head. And I remember there's a woodpecker, in Arkansas. There was I guess a little controversy question about whether this particular type of woodpecker was extinct or not, because it was assumed it was an extinct species, and then like somebody thought they saw it out in the woods somewhere, so that for a couple of days there were people out there, you know, looking in that area for this particular type of woodpecker, and the jury's still out about whether or not it's extinct, but apparently it is, but I don't know. But it's but so that's one thing I thought of right away was that with that type of woodpecker. But that's very cute. He's got his golden little beak and his flaming red head. Yeah. And there's sort of all kinds of autumn trees there, and his fish finishing. And this is by Cottage Garden Samplings, and it uses a lot of DMC colors, and then just a couple of Weeks Dye Works colors. But one of them it uses kind of a lot, I guess, coal. It uses a couple of skeins of it, if you were going to do it on 28 count. But anyway, so there's that. I have all of them so far. This is number 9. Yeah, it's for September, I guess. I haven't stitched any of them yet, so. And then I got this. I don't think I've ever bought any Blackbird Designs patterns, but they had these. This is from the Loose Feathers series for the birds, number 9, The Last Ripe Berries. And I just thought that's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. I just thought, oh, that's so beautiful. And it comes with a little charted alphabet back there, so you can personalize it or whatever. You know, there's an E there. These are, you know, you can put your own personal letters or numbers in there. But yeah, there's a little baby right there. And yeah, that's so pretty. So anyway, this is my first Blackbird Designs pattern. So these are all from the attic. I think that's probably everything. So again, I wanted to say thanks for a couple things. It's been a long time since I've thanked people for being subscribers, you know, coming back to watch me every week, to watch my channel. But I wanted to, you know, again, thank people for being very understanding, very supportive, offering lots of prayers and kind thoughts during this time with my dad. And we're probably going to be, you know, this month we're going to be doing a memorial service and a graveside service and that sort of thing. And so we're, you know, we're still in the middle of it. And actually we haven't decided whether or not we can afford to stay in this house or not, you know, and do we want to? Do we want something smaller, easier to take care of, more appropriate for our needs or whatever? And we haven't just made those decisions, of course, because, you know, we don't have to yet. But so, you know, that's something that's on the table, if you will, for discussion. And, you know, just sort of, you know, going through and there's a lot of stuff that we don't necessarily need, or whatever. So, you know, we may be going through all of that in the next several months, I guess, or something. I don't know. It's all very up in the air still, but so yeah, so we're still going through, you know, all this process, but y'all have been very very kind and very supportive, and we appreciate that. And there's still more to come, so yeah. But it looks like it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be nice, so, you know. Anyway, so thanks a lot, and we're gonna see how things, how the stitching shapes up, and yeah, so it should be all okay next week. I look forward to seeing you all again then, and we'll see how far I've gotten with my rabbits. And because I don't think I'm going to be starting on the September WIPGO things until 10 days have passed. I think the 11th is my last day to start on my first WIPGO number. And, you know, I'm being fairly monogamous about these WIPGO things. So I'm using generally the first 10 days to do whatever, and then you know, the next 10 on one of the WIPGOs and the next 10 on the other WIPGO. So I use the 30 days of the month or whatever. Seems to be working out okay. And we'll see where we are for, you know, for next year's WIPGO. Maybe I'll do maybe I'll put as my WIPGO numbers next year finishing or something, you know, FFOing. On my projects, as well as some stitching. But who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Because I have a bunch of things I want to start, you know. yeah. So anyway, so I've got my work cut out for me for the month of September, and I will see you all probably next week. All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.